A really important quality about an SDK is its integration and the ability to work with your existing workflow. So what echo3D has done with its SDK is it's given you a couple ways that you can integrate it into either an existing project or a brand new project. First, you're going to go to Downloads in your echo3D console and you're going to download the Unity SDK. After you unzip it, you'll notice that there is a subfolder in here called co.echo3d.unity. We're going to drag or copy this folder into the packages folder of your Unity project. So just make sure that you're not dragging it directly into Unity. Now we're going to drag the subfolder into the packages folder of your Unity project. It's going to automatically import everything that you need once you go back to Unity. And here you can see it in packages, it's just going to be right here. The first way that we're going to try is to add the echo3D script onto a parent game object. This is ideal if you're integrating echo3D after you've already built out an elaborate scene and you don't want to have to start from scratch and visualize the placement. You're able to keep everything as is, and the secret with that is you're going to add the echo3D script to the parent object and you're going to turn off its mesh renderer. So first we're going to create a 3D object in our scene, and let's just pretend that this is an amazing building and we really wanted to preserve everything that we have in the inspector, and we only want to be able to have the model come in but have everything in the inspector be applied to that object. No problem. In the echo3D folder in packages, you're going to go to the runtime folder and you're going to see the echo3D hologram script. You're going to drag this on to the parent object. Here you're going to see room for an API key and the entry ID. These are really the only two things that you need to enter unless you wanted to make modifications, and I will explain those in a little bit. So here in the echo3D console, we're going to look for a 3D model. Let's say that I needed to add another building, and this was one that was in our echo3D library. We have over 75,000 free assets that you can use. All you have to do is go to the Search console and type it in, and you'll find so many different things. So here we have our apartment model. The API key is going to be up here at the top, and if you click on this, you'll see each card has an entry ID. This is unique to each asset. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy this over and you're going to add it. And then we're going to go back here and we're going to copy the API key. Great. Make sure that you're saving in between adding all of these in Unity, otherwise it won't register. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn off the mesh renderer. This is to prevent duplicates. If you already have a mesh renderer for this object and then you're pulling one in from echo3D, it's just going to end up being a bulky asset. So we don't want that, so you can go ahead and turn that off. And in our case, let's say hypothetically the model that we found is offset, or maybe it's not quite sitting at the correct position. We can check the box for ignore model transforms, and this is going to give us a pretty clean position of the building that is going to be imported. My personal favorite is the editor preview. This allows us to real time in the scene part of Unity, and that way we're able to predict exactly where the 3D asset is going to go in terms of sizing, placement, all that. Next, you're going to bring in the echo3D service prefab in the prefabs folder. Next, you're going to go to echo3D in the toolbar and click Load Editor Holograms. This is going to load the asset in real time, and you can resize it, and any of the changes that you make here will stick. You also have the option to clear the holograms if you go to the same toolbar and hit clear. This is the second option, adding the prefab directly to the hierarchy. The second way, especially when you're building your scene from scratch, would be to bring in the two prefabs, echo3D hologram and echo3D service. So you'll see on the right in the inspector that you have the same fields as you do when you drag the script onto the object. we're gonna go and look at our echo3D object and grab the API keys and the entry IDs. We're gonna grab those from the echo3D console. The API key is at the very top, and the entry IDs are at the bottom of each content card. And now that we have that information added, let's do the editor preview like we did previously. And we're going to ignore the model transforms so that we get a fresh transform with the object as well. There you go.